final LCJ Live of the summer. It's Sunday, August 31, 2025. Thanks for being here this Labor Day weekend. Hope you're doing well. Good festivities, family, friends, joy, all of that the end of summer brings. Thanks for being here for LCJ Live. We're going to talk about the Labor Day weekend box office coming up, the results. What movies did you see? Did you see any of the new films or any of the re-releases from the theaters from this weekend? A very interesting box office for sure, with a re-release doing pretty well and other movies maybe not so much. Thanks for being here on LCJ Live. I got this as a gift in the last week. I like this shirt a lot. It represents the first 14 Pixar animated movies in order of their release. So you go 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 14, all of that here with the Pixar logo in between. They are here on this shirt. What a run that Pixar had. What a run that Pixar has had overall. A lot of Disney news happened the other day because of the D23 special celebrations. There are different kinds of D23 celebrations. Every other year they do the big expo. This was a special event where they showcased new announcements for Disney animation in particular, as well as Pixar. And I enjoyed this shirt very much. I am glad to be here with you on August 31st, 2025, the final day of August. 4 months to go in 2025. Wow. I'm going to name, coming up, my 5 favorite movies of the summer. And there are some very interesting things when it comes to my list of the 5 best movies of the summer. I'll break that down for you here in a minute. But first, here on LCJ Live, as always, send in your questions and your comments, and we're going to take a look at the box office. Number 1 is Weapons, back on top after that K-pop Demon Hunters victory last weekend. Weapons added 10.2 million. It is at 132.4. So it's going to pass Final Destination Bloodlines, which made 138, and it will be on Warner Brothers' top 5 movies of 2025 list. As of now, ahead of The Conjuring Last Rites, opening this weekend. Number 2 is the 50th anniversary re-release of Jaws. Even though it was on NBC in June, we had the documentary in July, more on that in a little bit. It was on the CW recently. Drive-ins have played it, other indoor theaters. It's been on television and streaming all the time this summer. Still, for the 50th anniversary re-release of Jaws, second place this weekend with $8.1 million. That's a win for Universal. And in third is Caught Stealing, which couldn't quite do what Jaws did. $7.8 million for Caught Stealing. This is the latest from Darren Aronofsky, starring Austin Butler. That was pretty interesting. Darren Aronofsky had The Whale, and that starred Brendan Fraser, who of course won Best Actor at the Oscars, but was battling Austin Butler for Elvis that entire award season. Darren must have, looked at who Brendan's main competition was, saw Elvis, and thought, I got to work with this guy. So unfortunately, though, for Caught Stealing, only $7.8 million. Not a huge opening weekend for that film that I have heard not so good things about. Number 4 this weekend is Freakier Friday, which added $6.5 million. It's at $80.5 million for Disney. It will very, very likely pass Snow White at a little over $87 million to get on Disney's top 5 of 2025 list, which is good. I'm glad. It's a much better film than Snow White. And, we'll see how long it can stay on the list. We've got Tron Air Race coming out in October. Of course, Zootopia 2 in November. 20th Century releases like Predator Badlands and Avatar Fire and Ash still later this year. But for Freakier Friday to pass Snow White, I think that's an accomplishment. The original Freaky Friday from 2003 did $110.3 million. So we'll see how close Freakier Friday can get to that 110.3. Number 5 is The Roses. And the fact that Disney was okay with the estimate of Freakier Friday, a film now 4 weeks old, being higher than their new release, The Roses, even by $100,000, shows that they don't have a lot of confidence in The Roses making money. Just $6.4 million for that comedy remake-ish of The War of the Roses, starring Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch. Just $6.4 million for The Roses, opening in 5th. Not very strong. And not a strong return for Searchlight Pictures. Their last film was A Complete Unknown, one of the highest grossing movies Searchlight has ever had at $75 million. This will come nowhere close to that, and they've got a couple award season movies for the end of the year. Number 6 is The Fantastic Four First Steps, $4.8 million. It's at $264.6. finally over $500 million worldwide. Right behind it in seventh place this weekend, The Bad Guys 2, which only dropped 7%. Very good. It added 4.7 million. It's at 73.1. It'll make some money tomorrow with kids off of school ahead of returning back to school later this week. So the first Bad Guys did 97. So we're still 24 million away. But it has passed Elio to become the second biggest fully animated movie of 2025 behind DreamWorks' Dogman, which did 98 million. So DreamWorks now with the top two highest grossing fully animated films in North America of 2025 so far. They've also got Gabby's Dollhouse the movie, which is partially live action, coming out at the end of September. Number 8 this weekend is Superman, added 2.6 million. It's at 351.1. It and F1 neck and neck with the worldwide box office, both of them over $600 million. Number 9 this weekend is Nobody 2, which added 1.8 million. It's at 20.1. Not going to get to the 26.8 of the first one. And rounding out your top 10 this weekend is The Naked Gun, which added 1.8 million. It's at 50.8 for Paramount. A little over 3 times what its opening weekend was when all is said and done, so I think they'll take that. The Toxic Avenger, barely outside the top 10, with close to 1.8 million, but as I was looking at the numbers this morning, the fact that Iconic and Cineverse, after the Nobody 2 and Naked Gun money had come out, said, we're going to go lower on Toxic Avenger with 1.755. They didn't even want it to get in the top 10. That I found a little surprising. When the 4-day results come in, could Toxic Avenger make more than the other 2 movies? Yes, but for the 3-day estimates right now, it is in 11th. Honey Don't dropped big, down to 870,000, 5.1 million for Focus Features. And Love Brooklyn in just one theater did $49,000. That's very good. All right. For films that coming out this week, as I mentioned, The Conjuring: Last Rites. Warner Brothers has a lot. Huge year for Warner Brothers. But they've moved Cat in the Hat to November of 2026. It was supposed to be February. And they moved Mortal Kombat 2, which was supposed to open towards the end of October. That's all the way to May. So right now, Warner Brothers only has 2 movies left for 2025. They are The Conjuring: Last Rites this weekend and One Battle After Another, which opens September 26th. I think something's going to sneak in at the end of the year from Warner Brothers. We'll have to see what it is. Also, Columbia Pictures decided this week to give Scarlet, the animated film from Mamoru Hosoda, to Sony Pictures Classics. So now Columbia only has 2 movies left this year. We had Caught Stealing. You've got A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey with Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie on September 19, and then Anaconda, which doesn't have a trailer yet, really, for Christmas Day. So that's very interesting about both of those. All right, let's see what else is coming out this weekend. Light of the World, which is the faith-based animated film. I spoke with the directors of it, John J. Schaefer and Tom Bancroft. You get that Q&A. Animationscoop.com and light-camera-jackson.com in the podcast section, as well as lcj.podbean.com. What else is coming out this weekend? Are those really it? Hamilton is coming to theaters, so it'll make a little money for Disney, but how many people want to see it for the first time or multiple times? And then Highest to Lowest, Denzel Washington's film from Spike Lee, is going to be on Apple TV+. So Apple TV+ for Highest to Lowest. It's been in theaters for a few weeks. Then it'll be this weekend on Apple TV+. For Animation Scoop Q&As and LCJ Q&A podcast episodes about Shape Island, Light of the World, which I liked. It's got beautiful hand-drawn animation. It's a grounded portrayal of the story of Christ. There's moving moments. There's dialogue that's kind of relatable dialogue they have, especially for young kids who are watching the film. So Light of the World is in theaters this weekend. Of course, support animation if you can. And if you want my Q&As about those, as well as later this week, Weather Hunters, the new PBS Kids animated show with Al Roker, and some Dr. Seuss animated shows are coming soon to Netflix. So I spoke with the makers of both of those. They will be available later this week. lcj.podbean.com and animationscoop.com. If you want to go to toofast2films.com, the 250th episode of the Too Fast Two Films podcast is there, and Mike Sargent and I are going to be recording a new episode pretty soon. But check out 250. Very cool to hit that milestone. So not a lot to kick off September. And before we get into the fall movie season, I want to mention the 5 best movies of the summer. 5 best movies of the summer. This is an interesting list, and I'll tell you why. Because 4 of these films I had on my list of the best movies of the first half of the year. One of them was an honorable mention, the other 3 on that 10 best list. And I have to tell you, I only added 1 movie to this top 5 from all of July and August. And there weren't a lot of movies this summer in July and August. Yeah, I haven't seen everything, but I've been watching a lot of TV, some cool stuff coming up. But only added 1 movie. Now, I liked Bad Guys 2 a lot. Freakier Friday has some positive aspects. F1 was good. Mission Impossible was good. They'd be on the honorable mentions. But when it comes to the top 5, my 5 favorite best movies of the summer, of summer 2025, number 5 is Jaws at 50, the documentary on the making of Jaws, celebrating its 50th anniversary. National Geographic did an excellent job with this. It's very thorough. It's very detailed. Spielberg with insights we've never heard before. Jaws at 50. Number 4 is Predator Killer of Killers, the animated Predator movie. And you probably said, why do we need another Predator? Well, this story, the way they break it up and then bring everything together, very compelling. The animation style, the emotion. I want a sequel. Predator Killer of Killers is number 4 for me for the summer. Number 3 is, like I said, the only movie from July or August to make it on this list. It's the drama Sovereign, starring Nick Offerman and Jacob Tremblay and Dennis Quaid. Powerhouse movie. I have a few minor quibbles with it, but the performances are excellent. The emotions, it's intense, it's powerful, it is an experience and a character study, a real character study. And a lot of conflict with these characters and shock moments. Sovereign. It should be available on digital platforms. Jaws at 50 is on Disney Plus, and Predator Killer of Killers is on Hulu. All 3 of these films are excellent. Yes, where can I see the Jaws doc, Christian Kozlowski? It is available Disney Plus, I think Hulu as well, and National Geographic Channel. And now we go to number 2, which is a film that should be available on VOD and digital for you to check out. Into the Wonder Woods, this delightful animated film about a young boy and his adventures. He gets left behind on a road trip, and he discovers a lot about himself and friendship and a little romance and adventure and confidence. And it's this very, very funny script with smart commentary on AI, making fun of that, and what's happening in the world and what a kid goes through at that age, and family and emotion there too about your relationship with your grandparents. Into the Wonder Woods, highly recommend it. And number 1, the best film of the first half of the year, best film of the summer, still the best film of the entire year for me, and that is the 2-part Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens documentary, Pee Wee as Himself, which is available on HBO Max and the HBO channel. It is an experience. If you know the story, or you think you know the story, this gives you everything. And there's a lot that we go through on this journey with the director of it and with the late Paul Rubens, and the emotion is there. The clips are there. The first half is more positive and a thorough look at the early making of the movies, and it bleeds into the second part about the TV show. And then we get into more of the personal life and what happened and the ups and downs of everything right to the day or the week before he died. It's a lot, and it's very good. It's very well done. I hope it gets a lot of awards as we approach Emmys and Oscars, award season, all of that. Pee Wee as Himself, number 1. Watch that on HBO and Max. So again, the 5 best movies of the summer. Number 5, Jaws at 50, the definitive inside story. Number 4 is Predator Killer of Killers. 3 is Sovereign. 2 is Into the Wonder Woods. And number 1 is Pee Wee as Himself. Those were the best movies I saw, released from May to here the end of August. Hope the fall movie season is good. There is a chance that we will not be back here next Sunday for LCJ Live. I may take the week off. I usually do that towards this time of year. If we do an episode of LCJ Live, I'll let you know. I'll let you know on socials, including X at LCJ Reviews. Either way, but likely won't be an LCJ Live next weekend, but there could be. We'll have to see. Got to figure a few things out. But if we're back here in 2 weeks on Sunday, September 14th at noon Eastern, Live, we will take a look at the box office for Downton Abbey, the grand finale, which I'm very much looking forward to. I love 2022's A New Era. We will also take a look at how the latest Demon Slayer film does, The Long Walk, the Stephen King adaptation, Spinal Tap 2, plus the 30th anniversary re-release of Toy Story. Will a Toy Story 5 teaser trailer be attached to it? And the History of Sound also opens from Mubi. And the Emmys will be in 2 weeks, Sunday, September 14th, the Primetime Emmy Awards. So we'll talk about that as well. We'll preview the movies for the 19th. There's a lot coming out. The Senior, Him, Big Bold Beautiful Journey, a few other movies coming out for the 19th. So we'll do lots of previews and lots of talk in 2 weeks as we kick off the 4th season of LCJ Live here on YouTube. I've been doing LCJ Live since April 2018, bringing you the box office and much more every weekend, except when I take a weekend off where there are conflicts, which there may be for next weekend. Until then, have a great rest of your Labor Day weekend. For more, go to X at LCJ Reviews, Instagram at LightsCamJackson, lights-camera-jackson.com. If you're here on YouTube, thank you. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications. Thanks for another great year of LCJ Live, and I will see you next time. Have a great end of your summer. We'll see you in September. Bye-bye.